by the authority given in the statutes of the Open University, I declare this congregation open for the conferment of degrees and the presentation of graduates. Distinguished guests, graduates and friends of the university, it's my privilege and pleasure to welcome you to this, the fifth of the Open University's degree ceremonies being held in 2018. We're delighted to have Mr. Bertie Ahern and Taoiseach from 1997 to 2008 with us today, and to welcome back our honorary graduate from 2017, Mr. Mickey Hart. We also warmly welcome Mr. John Pearce, Chairman of Antashke, the National Trust for Ireland, Ms. Nave O'Reilly, Chief Executive of Aintus, and Ms. Kiva Archibald, Member of the Legislative Assembly for Northern Ireland, all of whom have somehow found time in their very busy diaries to be with us here today. It's wonderful. It's also my great pleasure to welcome our honorary graduate, Mr. Phil Coulter. We're delighted to be able to honour him today. During the past year, the Open University has awarded over 20,000 qualifications, ranging from Certificate of Higher Education to Doctor of Philosophy. And throughout 2018, more than 8,000 graduates are being presented their qualifications at degree ceremonies such as this one today. They're being held in 11 different towns and cities throughout England, also in Belfast, Cardiff, Glasgow, and of course here in Dublin. This is just one illustration of the extraordinary scale, scope, and reach of the Open University. It goes without saying that today is a very important occasion in the life of you, our graduates, your families and loved ones, as well as the university staff, who I hope you will agree have nurtured and supported you throughout your studies. So because of all that, and because we're all dressed up in our strange clothes, you could be forgiven for thinking that this occasion is so important that you need to be very solemn. And you'd be absolutely wrong. This is the Open University, and in every sense of the word, this is a day for celebrations. So, personally, I will be really disappointed if anyone comes across this stage to anything other than absolutely thunderous applause or whatever you feel appropriate. I will just leave that to you. So, I think we should start with some practice. Why don't all of today's graduates briefly stand so we can see them? There they are. So, okay, do sit down. Don't worry, the front row haven't left. You'll see them again in a minute. There is another way that you can show your appreciation of your graduates. If you post messages or use social media, could you use the hashtag OU_ceremonies to share your congratulations and celebrations with the world outside? Lots of people have been tweeting already, so please do join that. So, what are we going to do? Today's ceremony will begin with the presentation of those graduates who have gained higher degrees and the first degree of Bachelor of Arts and have been able to attend here today. They'll be presented by Mrs. Heather Laird, Assistant Director of Student Services for the Open University in Ireland. We'll then see the awarding of the honorary degree of Doctor of the University to Mr. Phil Coulter. Mr. John Darcy, Director of the Open University in Ireland, will present Mr. Coulter, who will sign the honorary graduate book. Good, that's there behind me. And Phil will then make a reply. Then we'll continue with our presentation of graduates for those who have gained a Bachelor of Engineering, Bachelor of Laws and Bachelor of Science degrees, and also diplomas of higher education and have been able to attend here today. And they will be presented by Mr. John Addy, Assistant Director for Planning and Resources at the Open University in Ireland. And then to conclude the ceremony, I'll give a personal address to the graduates. So I now call upon Mrs. Heather Laird to present graduates.
Pro-Vice-Chancellor, I shall now present graduates who have gained higher degrees and have been able to attend here today. For the degree of Doctorate in Education, I present to you for a thesis entitled Grammar Matters, Teaching Irish as a Second Language in Ireland, Elaine Brown. For the degree of Master of Arts in Childhood and Youth, I present Zoe Ruffle. For the degree of Master of Arts in Classical Studies with distinction, I present Kevin Doherty. For the degree of Master of Arts in Education, I present Christopher Speller. For the degree of Master of Arts in Online and Distance Education, I present Kevin Burns. And Pascaline Fresneau. For the degree of Master of Arts in Online and Distance Education, Alan Hickey. For the degree of Master of Business Administration, I present Emer Neelis. Oksana Nikolayenko. Cormac O'Filu. Siobhan Traynor. For the degree of Master of Education with distinction, I present Sandra Leemacher. For the degree of Master of Education, I present Maggie Bates. Stephanie Crawford. Colleen Jones. Mary Kavanagh. John McLachen. James Metham. John O'Mahony. Alison Owens. For the degree of Master of Laws, I present Carl Gallagher. For the degree of Master of Science in Advanced Networking, I present Jason Latham. For the degree of Master of Science in Computing, I present Paul Cooney. For the degree of Master of Science in Human Resource Management, I present Mary Barry. For the degree of Master of Science in Science, I present Ahmed Abdi. Pro Vice-Chancellor, I shall now present graduates who have gained Bachelor of Arts degrees and have been able to attend here today. The full subject details are printed in the insert within the ceremony programme. I present for the degree of Bachelor of Arts with First Class Honours, John Lee. Geraint Waters. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts with Honours, I present Sasha Barry-Cheech. Julianne Carroll. Samuela Finn. Susan Glass. Eileen Goff. Corinne Holtschneider. Nadine Karen. Marion Lane. Adrian McGowan. Robert Massey. Lorna Maxwell. Anne McCarthy. Aine Murphy. Mary Norton. Gaston Pires. Nathan Pritchard. Jonathan Rind. Aisling Tumulty. Vicky Wolfe. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts, I present Mary Fenton. Gregory McCarthy. And Keith Snow.
Pro-Vice-Chancellor, colleagues, graduates and guests. Phil Coulter is one of Ireland's most successful and beloved musicians. As a songwriter, composer, performer and producer, his work has not only deeply enriched musical culture in Ireland, but has also been a profound influence across the world. Born and raised in Derry, Phil studied music at Queen's University Belfast, where his musical interests ranged from Palestrina to Fats Domino. In the early 1960s, Phil moved to London and began working as an arranger and songwriter for a music publisher. By night, he was playing piano for the likes of Van Morrison, Tom Jones, the Rolling Stones, to name but a few. And apparently, Sir Van Morrison refers to Phil Coulter as Cool Filter. By day, Phil formed a songwriting duo with Bill Martin, which would soon go on to become one of the most successful songwriting partnerships of all time. With Puppet on a String for Sandy Shaw and Congratulations for Cliff Richard, the pair achieved not just Eurovision glory, but major international hits during the late 1960s and 1970s. Phil is an extraordinarily versatile artist who has relished the challenge of unusual creative partnerships. In the early 1970s, for example, he worked with both the London Symphony Orchestra and the England football squad. Bit of a disparity there. In fact, with the song Back Home, he and Bill Martin began the tradition of England World Cup songs. I'm not sure if Phil's writing one for Russia, but we'll wait and see. Together, the duo also wrote an album for the late and great Irish actor Richard Harris, including the single My Boy, which was later covered, and it became a huge hit for Elvis Presley. Now, as a songwriter, it probably doesn't get any better than that. In writing for and producing the Bay City Rollers, Bill and Phil were responsible for a global phenomenon which changed the lives and broke the hearts of many teenage girls around the world. And I know for a fact there are quite a few Bay City Roller fans in the audience here today. Phil also played an important role in the early careers of artists as diverse as Midge Ure and Billy Connolly. He also produced albums for the Dubliners, the Fury Brothers and Planksty, which not just helped bring about a popular revival in Irish folk and traditional music, but pushed the genre into new musical and cultural spaces. This increasing immersion in traditional music inspired Phil to begin his own recording career. A series of original interpretations of classic Irish tunes, deeply moving in their sincerity and their simplicity, became the album Classic Tranquility, an international bestseller in the 1980s. The follow-up, Sea of Tranquility, was even more successful and remains one of the best-selling albums of all time here in Ireland. Later albums were similarly popular, leading to performances and tours in places like Carnegie Hall in New York and even the White House in Washington, D.C. Phil wrote Ireland's call for the Irish rugby union team to use in the 1995 World Cup, and which alongside the national anthem is sung with pride by Irish rugby fans at all their games. It's also been adopted by many other sports associations across the nation. Few popular artists can match the range, the longevity, and the impact of Phil Coulter. Over more than 50 years in the music industry, Phil has amassed 23 platinum, 39 gold, and 52 silver discs, and you can throw in another 5 Ivor Novello awards into the bargain as well. We at the Open University are delighted to mark his exceptional contribution to culture and to the arts in Ireland and further afield. Pro Vice-Chancellor, by the authority of the Senate, I present to you for the honorary degree of Doctor of the University, Phil Coulter.
Thank you, John, for the kind and flattering words. Thank you, good people, for the warmth of your welcome. Special thanks to the Open University for this honour. The Ahas Mór Orm Féin Seo Aniu. Very, very glad to be here today. When I told my taxi driver that I was getting an honorary doctorate in Croke Park, he was seriously impressed. But I think he figured, like Ed Sheeran, was going to be on the pitch with 80,000 people watching. When I found myself in graduation situations in the past, I've been looking down at a sea of mostly fresh-faced, well-scrubbed, eager, youthful 20-somethings. I see a few of them here today. But you folks are different. What makes you different makes you special. Not for you, the obvious direct route from college into university, where for all sorts of reasons that was just not possible. Through your own efforts, you've had to fit your studies around your other responsibilities, be they family, be they work, whatever. You've had to manage your time, which is not easy. And you've had to just knuckle down, put in the effort to earn your qualification without any sense of entitlement. And for that, I applaud you. For me, that sense of entitlement is all pervasive today. It's misplaced and it's totally unrealistic. And my business is full of talented people who believe that because they're talented, that the world owes them a living. Specifically, that they're entitled to a career. Nothing could be further from the truth. As all of you have discovered in your studies in the last number of years, it takes hard work and commitment to get the results. Well, you've done that, you've put in the hours, you've put in the efforts, and you've got your qualifications. It's a brilliant achievement in your lives, and you deserve great credit. But what now? What comes next? Well, just as you weren't entitled to a university qualification, that qualification in itself doesn't entitle you to a job, a career, or a lifetime of happiness. Again, it's all down to you. It's down to the effort that you make. It's down to the choices that you make. And when you're making those choices, my advice would be brave and choose something that you enjoy, something that you want to do. It was my parents' dearest wish that when I finished University of Queen's, that I would go back to St. Columb's, where I was educated, very prestigious school that had 2 Nobel Prize winners, John Hume and Seamus Heaney. My parents loved the fact that I could go back and be a music teacher in St. Columb's. But he did a great job, wearing a suit and collar and tie to work and be respected in the community and get a pension at the end of it all. So when I announced that instead of that, I was heading off to London to try and make my way in popular music, there was consternation in the household. My father, who was a cop on the beach, or on the beat, he just shook his head gravely and said, "Mark my words, boy, this will all end in tears." And my mother, God rest her soul, my mother was saying the rosary, lighting candles, offering up novenas, that I wouldn't end up in the streets in London. So for the first couple of years, it was really difficult. I was trying to make ends meet. I was trying to keep the bank manager at bay and try and get a foothold in the music industry. And failing. You see, there's no shame in failing. The shame is in not trying. So for 2 years, through a mixture of perseverance and perversity, refusal to give up, after a couple of years, I got a breakthrough. A couple of songs that John mentioned, Pop It on a String and Congratulations. They were the songs that kick-started my career. And I have a soft spot for those 2 songs, because not only did they get the bank manager off my back, they got my poor mother off her knees. Well, that was 50 years ago. And I'm still making a living from something that I enjoy doing. And that would be my wish for all of you today. Follow your own instincts and have belief in yourselves. Remember, you'll never be who you want to be unless you're happy with who you are. I keep reminding myself of something that I read years ago. There are only 2 things to aim for in life. One is to achieve your goal, and after that, to enjoy it. And only the wisest men achieve the second. So, today is a day to share with your family and friends, to savor the moment, and to pat yourselves on the back for your achievements. Tomorrow is a day to move forward into the new chapter of your life and to enjoy it. Thank you.
Pro-Vice-Chancellor, continuing the presentation of graduates, I shall now present those who have gained Bachelor of Engineering, Bachelor of Laws and Bachelor of Science degrees and diplomas of education and have been able to attend here today. The full subject details are printed in the insert within the programme. For the degree of Bachelor of Engineering with First Class Honours, I present Mark Lumley. For the degree of Bachelor of Engineering with Honours, I present Von Vasen Asphal. Brian Classens. Matthew Dunn. Alan Farrell. Pat Kinsella. Christopher McDermott. Philip O'Donoghue. Walter Power. David Purcell. For the degree of Bachelor of Law with honours, I present Caroline Mukoya. For the degree of Bachelor of Science with First Class Honours, I present Jeering Corden. Evelyn Clancy. Joseph English. Noel Tracy. For the degree of Bachelor of Science with honours, I present Brendan Briscoe. And his brother, Brian Briscoe. Paul Carolan. Stuart Davidson. Colm Delaney. Bobby Evans. Elaine Fitzgerald. Heather Foley. Ashlyn Hart. Joanne Jakes. Sundus Khan. David Lambert. Keith Maher. Thomas McGoldrick. Cliff McInerney. Orla McKenna. Nathy O'Connell. Noel O'Connor. Murphy Omogiati. John O'Sullivan. Katrina Paul. Francesca Pavelchik. Jessica Samrad Chad. Carolina Shevchik. Bobby Tangney. Ashley Filion. Daniela Zaitseva. For the degree of Bachelor of Science, I present Joan Devin. Bernadette Hoffman. Martin Ruttle. Simon Weston. For the degree of Bachelor of Science in Adult Nursing with first-class honours, I present Janet Coates. And for the degree of Diploma of Higher Education, I present John Craster.
Wow, well that was fun, wasn't it? Each one of those people that walked across the stage had a different story, and everybody had somebody here in the room and I know elsewhere that are very, very proud of them. And you know what? We're very proud of you too. What a wonderful afternoon. Each one of you graduates is extraordinary. But you know what? Together, you're even more extraordinary. I reckon you're the most amazing body of graduates anywhere. In fact, today, all of you, and your friends and supporters are probably sharing this auditorium with the most extraordinary people you are ever likely to meet. For family, friends and supporters, you know the incredible efforts that your graduate went to achieve their qualification. But many of you, and many of our graduates today, won't know much about the other graduates and just how amazing as a body of people you are. So I'd like to take a moment just to show ourselves why. So I'm going to ask our graduates a few questions so we can discover a bit more about them. So raise your hand if you'd like to answer some of these questions. Who was employed or did voluntary work at some stage during their study? Most, I would say. Okay. Who helped bring up a family during study? Who cared for parents or other dependents during their study? And if you're willing to share this, how many carried out their studies with a registered disability of some sort? Wow. Well, did you know that over 23,000 students with registered disabilities, more than any other, we have 23,000 students with registered disabilities, and that's actually more students than most universities have in total. It's quite incredible. And as you saw, almost every student here has needed to fulfill some other obligation or another alongside their study. Compare that with students at conventional, or I like to say ordinary, universities, whose extra duties might extend to, what? Sports, maybe the bar. Your efforts are just so much greater. You are members of a university that believes that where you start in life should not limit where you go. It's a frustration of mine and my colleagues here that what sort of words are used to describe students like you? Conventional students are described as full-time students, and OU students like you are usually described as part-time students. Part-time? More like double or triple time, perhaps? It's been really tough, I know. You've been on a really, really tough shift for the last many years in some cases. But actually, there is something that's even tougher than being an OU student, and that's living with one. Many of you who came across the stage today pointed out your family and friends, and we could certainly hear them. And some of you told me that your achievement belonged just as much to them, and I don't doubt it for a moment. So let's take a moment, shall we, to acknowledge the support of your family and friends who are celebrating with you here today. They've been by your side every step of the way. So let's thank them for supporting you, for standing by you. Graduates, please locate your family and friends in the crowd, and let's give them a massive round of applause. Fantastic, you've got a standing ovation. Well done. So let's also thank some of the other vital groups that helped you get here today. The OU's wonderful academics and support staff, represented by my colleagues here on the platform. They wrote, presented or supported the OU in delivering your course. Probably those that you encountered most frequently were your associate lecturers, your first port of call throughout your studies. I hope you'll agree that they too are deserving of huge appreciation. So, you're all absolutely special. But you're also special because of the quality of the university that you have just graduated from and the standards that we set. Standards that we know employers recognise and value. Over 1,300 employers regularly invest in our courses, from small companies, local authorities and government, to sector giants including IBM and the NHS. a government survey found that employers perceived part-time students to be hardworking, committed and requiring discipline. Sound familiar? And they recognised the importance of supporting their employees' study aspirations. So an OU qualification is something to be really proud of, something well recognised and well respected. I hope that if you're going for a new job or a promotion following your qualification, you can remind your employer of that. The university here in Ireland has had an amazing year and some exciting work about to emerge. For example, our students and staff took part again in the Culture Night Dublin in the Winding Stair bookshop, showcasing new poems and stories to a somewhat delighted audience. We also hosted a Brexit panel discussion at the National Library of Ireland with attendees from politics and business. And over the next 2 months, we launch a major film on our OpenLearn site called Reflections on the Good Friday Agreement. It's got interviews from many of the people involved in negotiations and discussions which brought about this historic agreement 20 years ago. I'm delighted that former Taoiseach Bertie Ahern, a driving force behind the agreement and a contributor to the film, is able to be with us today. Bertie, thank you for your hard work. And for being part of our film. In June, we launched a new programme to help developing and innovative businesses across Ireland to become exporters. With a donation from Irish people and the support of Enterprise Ireland, we hope this programme will help further economic growth in Ireland. 5 years ago, the OU led the way again in digital innovation when we set up the UK's first platform for massive open online courses, free learning for the world, through an initiative called FutureLearn. Since it was set up, it's brought over 7 million learners together globally. Now I'd like to turn to the research of the Open University. When we took part in the last UK exercise to assess university research, it showed that nearly 3/4 of the Open University's research was marked as 4 or 3 star. That means either world-leading or internationally excellent. And this research captures the public imagination. We're incredibly proud of our contribution to our recent space exploration. Do you remember the controlled crashing of the Cassini probe recently? Our team designed and built some of the scientific instruments on that. The Cassini-Huygens mission has transformed our understanding of the second largest planet in our solar system, Saturn, and its vast ring system and its unique moons. And that scientific legacy of the mission is going to extend long, long beyond its fiery end in Saturn's clouds. And closer to home, you may have heard in the news last month that scientists have found that Mount Etna volcano in Sicily is collapsing slowly into the sea. Well, those scientists are OU academics, one of whom, a close colleague of mine, has been studying Mount Etna for nearly 50 years. So you can see, you're a member of a university that is a world leader in technology, in innovation, and in helping people to learn. And you will always be a member of the university. Our movement of millions, a mission of one. Today, you join a community of Open University alumni around the world. The OU has been by your side throughout your studies. Today, we give you a new commitment to stay with you on your lifelong journey. We promise to help you develop your professional career, and as we learn more in your chosen field of study, we promise to share with you our latest research. Our motto, which is not on the screen behind me, is learn and live. That's something that all Open University graduates embody as soon as they step back into their busy lives, because we are the people who open up the future of learning. Continue to learn, continue to live. You have proven great skills and the ability. Be confident that you can change the world around you for the better. You are now part of a vast network of people as extraordinary as you are. Make your voice heard. Join our alumni careers group, Toucan, on LinkedIn. Share your professional experience and make new connections. Try one of our free online courses on OpenLearn or FutureLearn. And maybe when you've had a small pause to recover, think about coming back and doing some more studies. I know some of you already are. And remember, our careers service is there to support you for another 3 years after you finished your course. Now, you've probably already been congratulated by members of our alumni team out in the foyer, and if you didn't get a chance to meet them today, they'll be in touch. They'll tell you about what our Alumni Association can offer, as well as ways you can give back to your university through our Open Up the Future campaign, helping us to open up opportunities for many more people. And of course, do visit the Careers and Employability stand in the foyer. Your exciting future starts here. Because when you leave today, you become an ambassador for the Open University and all that it stands for. Its values of social justice, equality, and education for all. Share your experience with others you know. Tell people what your OU journey has meant to you and what it could mean for them. You may have seen some of our inspiring adverts recently that bring so vividly to life the trials and jubilations of being an OU student. But we know that for potential students, a word of recommendation from an OU student or graduate is better than any commercial. You are our best advert, and we want you to be proud to say, I studied there. So in a moment, the proceedings will end and the ceremonial party will process out. Please do join me, our honorary graduates, and all of the processing party outside the auditorium so we can congratulate you in person. Now, can I ask you one last time for all our graduates to stand so we can give you one more huge round of applause. Congratulations. The proceedings of this degree ceremony have been completed, and I now declare this meeting of congregation closed. Would all those who are able to stand please do so?